संगीत फोन बज रहा है तेरा? कंपनी का कंपनी है। चला लो।
Could you complete the assignments or any queries in the assignments? What is there, guys and girls? Please speak up.
No, ma'am, it's all done.
No, ma'am, it's all done.
Okay.
Ma'am, I already submitted the assignment in the web portal.
On Ignite. Okay. Okay. So let's now see what is there. What's the next? Okay, today we are supposed to discuss about the enum and then we will. वो क्या आ गया यहाँ पे? एक मिनट. Okay, so yesterday what we have seen, interface is nothing but a complete abstract class, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And all the methods are abstract by default. We have also seen that we don't specify default, the abstract keyword, right? But still by default, these methods are abstract methods, right? We don't need to specify it. Now, whatever methods are there or whatever interface we have, a class must implement all the methods from an interface, right? So a class implements an interface. Now what we can have over here, a class can implement, or we can say implements, one or more interfaces at the same time. Means what happens? We have talked about interface as whenever we want to have a class implementing an interface, we check for the easer relationship. Yes, well, yesterday we have seen or we have checked that whether a dog is an animal. If not, dog cannot implement animal interface, right? This is what we have over here. Now, when we have talked about multiple inheritance, we have seen that in inheritance, we have extends keyword that is available, right? So in that extends keyword, after a class is extending another one class, you can have only one class name mentioned over there. One class can inherit another one class, right? You cannot have a class inherits class 1, class 2, or extends class 1, comma class 2, comma class 3. We don't have that. So what we can have over here is whenever we are implementing any interface, when a class implements any interface, it can implement one or multiple interfaces. Also, along with that implementation of interfaces, a class can also extend another class. So what will be the sequence? So say class 1 extends class 2. Okay, class 1 extends class 2, where class 2 is already defined, implements interface 1, comma interface 2, comma interface 3. So what we are going to have over here, a class can inherit another class. At the same time, it can implement one or multiple interfaces as well. So what all things we are achieving through the interface is, first thing is multiple inheritance. Yes, Another we can have as loose coupling. This is very important point. Loose coupling is achieved only through the interface. Yes, you can say for example, I can give you one example as, say you have a restaurant and you want to develop an application for the restaurant, right? So now what a restaurant serves, so you have certain method as prepare, and you are passing T object to it. What is supposed to be prepared? Tea. Tea is already created a class. Tea means TEAT, jo peene wala chai, chai wala chai, right? So what you are restricting over here is, in your restaurant you can prepare only tea, means that is not actually a restaurant, it is a tapri, right? So you can prepare a tea. This is what you are restricting. Instead, if you will create an interface as, say for example, beverage. So there are multiple types of beverage. So it can be tea, coffee, hot chocolate, whatever, right? So now instead of passing the object of tea, if you will create the method which is accepting value of type beverage. समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है? Yes.
Yes, ma'am, आ रहा है.
So what we have, interface beverage. Yes, and here you have a method as prepare, or prepare beverage. This is some you have, right? Then what we have, class T implements beverage. Why? Because tea is beverage. I can also have class coffee implements beverage and implement that particular method. Now I have a class, say restaurant. Yes, and in this class restaurant I have public void, say for example, prepare or serve beverage. And what type of beverage you want, that you need to specify. So if here I will write as a parameter as tea, that means this restaurant can serve only tea, right? If I'm writing coffee, that means this restaurant can serve only coffee. Obviously you can overload this particular method, right? But instead of that, like you can have method as serve tea, serve coffee. But then what happens? Right now you have written method for only serve tea and serve coffee. Now suppose in future you want to enhance the functionality, you want to serve more beverages, those many classes you will create, those many methods you need to add. Now as all these beverages considered under beverage category, so they can easily implement beverage interface, and instead of this coffee over here or tea over here or whichever new beverage you are going to serve, you can specify that like this. So while invoking this method, suppose public static void main string oats, right? So while invoking this particular method, suppose restaurant is the object of that, and whenever I'm using serve beverage, I can pass parameter of type T, because say user has or the customer has ordered tea, or I can have new coffee. So what is this? Loose coupling. Actually, this method is accepting object of type beverage. Object of type beverage means what? This is the reference which we are passing of type interface. So here, any object of the class which is implementing that interface can be passed. This is nothing but loose coupling. Now in core Java, definitely this loose coupling may not prove itself to be a best, a fitted solution over here. Sometimes, yes, definitely. But the more implementation or more utilization of this, you will be able to see whenever you will study about the more packages. Okay, like collection we have, or JDBC we have, where we are using interfaces. Massive interface usage is there in the JDBC, right? We don't have much classes available in JDBC, java.sql package. Most of the things are nothing but interfaces. We will talk about it when we will discuss about JDBC. Yes, so this is what we have. But so suppose in client interview, it is asked to you that, okay, I want to, tell about interface. What is the use of interface? So multiple inheritance, loose coupling, right? Or what we can say, to provide the standard. Yes. So this is also when we have to provide the standard that must be followed by further implementations. Further implementations means what? The classes which are going to implement this particular interface. It is a standard which must be followed. There is no may or can, no, it is must. Yes, because whenever a class is implementing any interface, it must define all the methods. That means whatever standards are set in a particular interface must be implemented by that particular class. And this is called a contract between the class and the interface.
Just like an abstract class, man.
Yeah, but still in abstract class, again, what you have, the same thing is applicable over here. If you don't define all the abstract methods in abstract class as well as in interface, if you don't define, then the subclass in case of abstract classes and the class in case of interface must be defined as an abstract class. Yes, like say for example, in an abstract class, you have 5 abstract methods. You have extended that particular abstract class, and that subclass is not able to or it has not provided all methods as whatever were abstract. So the subclass must also be declared as an abstract class. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And in case of interface, suppose I have 10 methods in an interface, and I have the scenario where a class is implementing that interface, but it is not defining all 10 methods. Then that class must be declared as an abstract because all methods are not concrete. Then again, once the abstract class comes in picture, what next part you have? That abstract class must be extended. So you are going to have a subclass. And then abstract class comes in picture, inheritance comes in picture. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. One more thing what you have is one interface can extend one or multiple other interfaces. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So we have interface can extend another interface, not a class. Interface can extend interface. Class can extend class. Class is going to implement an interface. Yes. So now suppose one interface, say my interface extends your interface. So now whatever number of abstract methods we have, right? Those are total of whatever abstract methods I have provided in my interface and whatever abstract methods are there in your interface. So suppose 10 abstract methods are now available. So whichever class is there, which is implementing my interface. Are you getting this or no?
Yes,
My
ma'am.
interface extends your interface. So now my interface, as it is extending your interface, its own abstract methods plus your interface abstract methods. So total 10 abstract methods are available in my interface now. I have created a class, my class, which is implementing my interface. So now it is the responsibility of my interface to define all the methods from my interface as well as your interface. Is this clear or no?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear. And ma'am, can an interface extend a class?
No, 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 no.
Okay.
A class will implement an interface. Okay. An interface will extend another interface.
Okay, so
A
if
class
an
will always
interface want
extend
to
interface.
extend another interface, so which keyword we will use? Extend keyword.
Extends, yes. Oh. Okay, clear? So it is all, see, class is going to provide the implementation, right? And when class is going to provide the implementation, you are going to have what I would say, the class will follow the standards, and standards will be defined by what? Standards will always be defined by interface. So class is bound to follow the standards. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now about the variables. The variables that are declared in the interface, in an interface, are by default final. Means what? Constants. You cannot change the value of constants, right? So now remember this point. These are the constants. Now, next topic which we are going to discuss about is enum. Okay. So enum is, what is enum? Anybody knows?
Where we can define our index value from which.
Index. Okay. Anything else?
Ma'am,
Numerical
we can
value
define our
that-
own variables
yeah,
like
that
integer.
automatically increases its value. The constant we define here also.
Okay, correct. So enum is nothing but enumeration or enumerator, you can specify, right? Now, in your application, whenever you are going to specify some standard set of values, like if any one of you is from a Python background. So in Python, how many of you are from Python background? Some of the people don't talk at all. Any specific reason? Madhumita, Manasvi, Manav, Manthan. I hardly hear from you. Please, guys, be interactive. I cannot pay attention to everyone every time. Yes. So how many of you are from Python background? Python. Yes. So in Python, we have a concept of tuple, right? I also know Python little bit, but only half in data science. Okay. So what is the tuple over here? The set of standard values which are valid for your application, and something that cannot be, modified. Set
Immutable,
of
ma'am.
immutable, correct. Set of standard, set of constant values that should be used throughout your application. Yes. So similarly, here we can make use of enum to declare standard valid set of values. Yes. So let's now understand the scenario. But again, interface can also be used to specify the standard set of values. Why? Because whenever you are creating an interface, yes, and if you declare the variables in an interface, those are by default final, by default constant. So suppose I'm developing an application which is e-commerce website. Yes, and in e-commerce website, I have certain standard mode of payments to be done. Yes, some standard constants which are valid for my application could be what? For example, for e-commerce website, I have say for example, mode of payment. I want that, okay, debit card, credit card, and cash on delivery. 3 options only available for my application right now. I don't have UPI or nothing, wallet payment, I don't have. Only these 3 are the valid ways of making the payment. So I will specify it. This is the standard mode. These are the standard modes of payment. Or in another application, suppose it is a customer management system or employee management system, where I want the gender of the employee. So I have standard set of values. Apart from that, nothing can be provided. Yes. Next is, say for example, I'm developing some hotel management system. And in that hotel management system, what I have is, depending on the season, I have some discount offers available. But then the season names are standard set of values. Nobody can provide any other value for the season. Yes. So whenever you need to, or bank account, in case of bank account, I have savings account, current account, and demat account. Apart from these accounts, I don't have any other account type. Yes. So again, here I'm specifying a specific standard set of content, set of valid values for my application. So definitely we can do it using interface. How? So say for example, I have interface payment. Suppose I have created interfaces are supposed to be public because they are going to provide you the standard. And here it is applicable whenever it is interface, whatever is the access modifier of interface, that is by default applied for the variables and methods. Okay, this is not applicable to classes, but this is applicable to the interface. And according to coding standard or according to design standard in any application, interfaces must be public. What could be the reason why interfaces must be public? What do you think?
Because you need implementations for this.
As interfaces only contain the method signature, ma'am. It doesn't contain any method body, so it should be implemented in other classes. So when we make it private or protected, it can't be implemented in different package, or it cannot be implemented in any other class. So it should be public.
Correct. So first thing I would like to add one more thing over here is interfaces cannot be private or protected. Okay, classes and interfaces can be either default or public. Only these two keywords are applicable. Unless they are inner classes or unless they are inner interfaces, private cannot be applied. Protected is definitely not applied. Okay. Inner interface or inner class means what? Interface inside interface or class inside class. That is inner class and inner interface. So these inner classes and inner interfaces can be private, but then again you are restricting the access outside that particular class. However, whenever you are creating a class or whenever you are creating an interface, it can be default or public. Now, as we say that yes, interface is used for specifying the standard. Standards cannot be restricted because these standards must be followed application wide. So that is the reason why interfaces must not be declared as an as a public, as a non-public, right? This is the reason. So you can say that yes, the interfaces should be public, but what is applicable for interfaces is whatever is the access modifier you are defining or you are specifying for an interface, that is applicable for the entities within that interface. Okay, so remember this particular point. Any query?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So in payment, I have standard modes of payment, right? So I have, now again, how I'm going to specify. So string I will use, say for example, debit card. I'm going to specify mode of payment. Now, as it is going to be a final, it is going to be a constant. According to coding or naming convention, whatever constants are there, those constants must be implemented or must be specified in all caps. Okay, so this is the mode of the payment. So suppose debit card. Yes, string credit card equal to. So something like this I will have to mention over here. So what is the discrepancy here? Is there any discrepancy or all good?
The variables can be accessed by anyone.
Huh?
I mean, the variables of debit card, credit card, cash on delivery can be accessed by anyone.
We need it now. That's why we have brought it into the interface, because this is the standard. They must be accessible. Here we are not talking about encapsulation. Encapsulation is applicable only for the class.
Okay.
In interface, the standards cannot be restricted because these are the standards that are or that must be followed across the application. So data security is not the point to be considered over here.
Okay.
Ma'am, here we repeat the same type of object again and again. Instead of that, we make a enum of that. That is a better to implement.
So the major discrepancy over here is I'm talking about mode of payment. Yes. And I'm representing that mode of payment in the form of string. So I'm talking about mode of payment and I'm specifying it in another different data type. Are you getting this point? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mode of payment. Yes, this is what I'm going to. Fine. So what I'm specifying over here, I'm representing various modes of payment, but that I'm representing in the form of string. Am I specifying any string data? Am I talking about any string data? No, I'm talking about mode of payment in my application, and string is the data type which is being used. This is first discrepancy. Second is what? Whenever I need to make use of this payment interface, I will have to write the class which is implementing this interface, because this is the way how we will be able to use these data members, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
now the user, whoever is going to do the online shopping in my e-commerce portal, that client needs to make the payment. So what I will have to write, say for example, user or customer implements payment. Why? Because user is supposed to, or the customer is supposed to choose the mode of payment what the customer wants to go ahead with. Now, in case of interface, what we have seen that whenever we need to implement an interface, we check the is a relationship. Now, is my customer a payment? Or in shopping cart, is a shopping cart payment? No. Payment is a payment, right? So checking is a relationship, and this particular implementation of interface, why I need to implement? Just because this is an interface. Okay. And unless I implement the interface, I won't be able to utilize that particular functionality, isn't it? So for that, usage of the interface may not prove itself to be the best way of specifying constants in your application. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a class. That class is nothing but enum. So public enum payment. And in this enum, what we are going to do is we are not going to specify any string type of data. We are just going to specify credit card, and COD. So now here I have not used any string data to represent payment. I am representing a payment, so I am using payment. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
no? So let's now see how to implement it in our application. So I'm going to create a new enum. Here you can see this enum is provided. Say payment. So in this payment, I'm going to, I will just copy it from here. Why to type it again? Debit card, credit card. So this is the enum that is created. Now, if I'm going to create a class named as customer, who is actually going to perform shopping on my e-commerce portal, and customer is supposed to select the mode of payment. So for that, in interface, what we would have done, customer implements payment, which is the correct way syntactically, but not ethically. Customer is not payment, right? So customer should not implement a payment interface. So maybe we need to create another class where mode of payment implements payment, something like that. And that object needs to be added over here. So as a parameter, but that will be a lengthy process. So here what we can have, private int customer ID, private string customer name. And now when I need to check the mode of payment, I can directly declare a variable of type enum. So here user is going to find, or here user is going to specify what will be the mode of payment user or the customer is going to select. Is this clear, everyone, or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Either you can create a constructor or you can create setter getter method. So here we have just created one variable of type enum. We don't need to implement enum. Yes, and you will be able to specify only these specific values. Apart from these three values, debit card, credit card, and COD, you cannot provide any other value over here. Now we will simply add toString method. What are other methods are required? We will add later on. Okay. Now I'm going to create another class which is customer main. Which will contain the main method. Right. So this is your customer class. So now whenever you need to create object of customer, right, you are giving the facility to the customer to choose mode of payment. How we are going to declare this? First, I will show you that. So say for example, int customer, or let's pass those parameters later on. So first of all, I'm going to specify payment, mode of payment equal to, here you can see that whatever values are there, first three values, look at first three values. Yes, only those options are available. COD, credit card, debit card. Yes. Now suppose I will add one more option over here. Wallet payment is also possible. So once we will add it, that fourth option is also added over here. Are you getting this? So this is how you are going to select this particular value. So mode of payment for this particular customer will be debit card. Right? Now, whenever I'm going to create the object of customer, customer1 is equal to new customer. So customer ID is 1 and mode of payment is mode of payment. So I have first created the parameter and then I have sent it. So system.out.println customer1. You can directly also specify customer2 is equal to new customer, say 2. And for mode of payment, you will directly select payment dot, say credit. So this option will be selected here. Is this clear? So either you have a variable which is created and then you are passing it as a parameter, or you are directly specifying it as a parameter over here. Clear to everyone or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
now let's see what output we get. So you can see that mode of payment is specified over here. This is the usage of enum. So whenever you are creating an enum, you are going to specify the standard values, constants that should be part of that particular enum. And those values are valid set of values that are applicable. Apart from this, user cannot select, right? So we are again setting the standards, but as I'm mentioning that, yes, it is the mode of payment. I'm representing it in the form of mode of payment. I'm not using string or any int to specify that mode of payment. Right?
Ma'am,
Huh?
how to import the enum? Can you say it once again?
Import in the sense?
I mean, how to generate the public enum payment?
Here you have that option now. In package, new, enum.
Okay.
Ma'am, enum name always in capital letter. As
The
constant.
name of the enum identifier, you mean?
Yeah,
the payment
yeah.
we have written,
Yeah.
yes. Same
And
as
we
that of
can
class and interface.
we can also associate a value, particular value to it. In case of days, 7 days, Monday, Tuesday,
Huh.
and so on. So we can put give Monday to one value, Tuesday to two as such.
नहीं समझ में आया what you are saying.
This, all the days, weekdays, ma'am, 7 days. Would we also assign a value to a particular enum identifier, such like Monday to 1 or Tuesday to 2, such like that?
But then when
Or
you are
only the
getting
name?
actual day, why to specify 1, 2, 3, 4 over there? I didn't get that.
Oh, okay. No, ma'am. Just I want to
Yeah.
is identifier just like variable. We can also assign something other, or is not. It's fixed.
You don't need na that 1, 2, 3, 4 again specify.
Yeah. Ma'am.
It's not required. You can, but it is not required. Create this enum, then we will go ahead. Done, everyone.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Done, ma'am.
Done. Okay. No queries.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, say for example, whenever you are accepting input from the user, you ask the user as, okay, what mode of payment you want to accept or what mode of payment you want to go for. So if you are accepting it from command line, definitely it is a string. Even if you have a UI, right, through the browser, a text field, again, it is going to be in the form of string. Yes. So whenever I'm getting input from the user, payment mode, it will be in the form of string only. So say for example, the user has selected debit card. So now I want to check if this debit card mode is valid across this mode of payment, which is provided into the enum. Okay, debit card is there. However, what values I have in the enum, those are not in the form of string. That is first thing. Second thing, Java being case sensitive, even though debit card in enum and debit card in this string, the spelling is same, right? They are two different values because of case sensitivity. So now I want to check whether this debit card is valid value available in the enum. So how we will be able to do that? So the first thing is I need to first get all the values from the enum. Yes. So are you getting this point? I have this input available from the user. I want to cross check this input against the values that are available in the enum. So for this particular combination or this particular comparison, I first have all the values that are available in the enum. Yes. So for that, what we have is we have values method that is available, which returns the array of type payment. Are you getting this? So when you need to have all the values to be retrieved from entire or all the values from the enum to be available in your application, you should get the all the values and then you can compare one by one. So now as this is an array, definitely you can iterate using a for loop. Yes. And then you can make use of comparative comparison operator. Are you getting this point, everyone, or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So now for okay, let's make use of this for loop only. For each can also be used over here, but let's keep it over here. So now I want to check. Now again, what is there? Let's see what values we get. So system.out.println payments of I. So whenever I'm executing this particular code, you will be able to see that debit card, credit card, and COD are being displayed. So we are getting all these values available for your application. But still, what is the difference in this? These values are available in the form of payment, and what I have available over here is in the form of string. Yes. So what I need to do over here is if payment of I, each value I need to cross check, no, dot value of, can you see this value of method you have, and this value of method, it is checking payment mode. Are you getting this, everyone? अच्छा ये boolean नहीं दे रहा है, ठीक है.
Ma'am, there is a thing from the string class called dot equals ignore or case.
What? I couldn't hear you. You were not.
Ma'am, from the
clearly
string
audible.
class, there is a method called dot equals ignore case.
No, ignore cases, that is okay. So first what we need to do over here is first, this string must be available in the form of that particular enum. Because one element I have in the form of enum, one element I have in the form of string, right? So that string needs to be converted in the form of enum, or enum value needs to be converted in the form of string. Either of the one needs to be done. So if payments of I dot, what is there?
Can we do directly dot to string, no? No, we can convert it, no?
Yeah, that can be done. No doubt about it. To string, but it is giving me an error. Cannot convert. ठीक है. Dot equals payment mode. Yes, SYSO valid payment mode. And which is that payment mode? Yes. So right now we should get that valid payment mode over here. So let's see what we are getting. We are not getting anything over here. I will put the else part. Else invalid payment mode. Yes. So whenever I'm executing it, it shows invalid payment mode every time. Why? Because the values that are available over here are in uppercase. What string we have is in lowercase. So one thing is, either you need to have that variable of type payment to be represented in the form of string, or string to be represented in the form of enum. That is one thing. Second is what? You can simply make use of this to uppercase. So either you can convert this mode of payment to lowercase, or you can convert this string to uppercase, so that there will be a match found. So now you can see that in debit card, it is saying valid payment mode, and in these two, it is saying invalid payment mode. So now suppose I will write credit card over here and I will execute it. So now for debit card, it shows invalid payment mode. For COD, it shows invalid payment mode, and for credit card, it shows valid payment mode. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So add this particular code, then we will go ahead. Done, everyone, or no?
Implementing, ma'am.
Okay, okay, complete.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, done. Good. Break लेना है? Do you want to take a break? Or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh? Yes. Okay, Prajwal is saying yes. So let's take a break. So this is about when you are accepting input from the user and you need to match it from the enum. So we have understood this. Now, what if I have some data members? Like it is also nothing but a class. Enum is also a class, and enum allows us to or class allows us to declare data members. Enum also allows us to declare data members. What is the point in declaring data member? Let's consider a scenario that whenever the user is making a certain payment, right, there is some fees which is applicable. So if the transaction is done using debit card, some added charges are applicable. If credit card, some again added charges are applicable. For COD, some charges are applicable, like that. Yes. So how we are going to specify that? Now I'm not going to specify it at the class level because again these charges will be fixed, right? So in that case, what we can do is we can declare a variable as private int charges. Okay. Now we need to assign the value. Like say for example, a debit card, there is 2% of charges applicable. For credit card, 4% of charges applicable. For COD, 0% of charges are applicable. Yes, that means whenever I'm specifying this mode of payment, I'm specifying charges to it, and those charges we will specify by using the constructor. So private payment int charges. This is the constructor that you are going to have over here, and this dot charges equal to charges. Is this clear, everyone, or no? Should we keep it private or not? Let's see. Is this clear, everyone, or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Then I need to have the method which is going to get that particular value back. Because whenever I need to make the payment, or whenever I need to have the charges to be applied, when we need that, what charges are applied based on what mode of payment is chosen by the user, by the customer, I need to have that particular value retrieved. Yes. So for that, public int get charges. We won't have set charges over here, right? Because that value we are going to specify in the constructor only at line number 3. So return charges. So you can fetch the value. Is this clear or no?
Clear, ma'am.
Ma'am, the numbers you assigned in bracket.
What?
The numbers you assign in bracket, ma'am, debit card 2, credit card 4, COD 0.
Huh. So those are charges that are applicable.
Okay, okay.
Hmm. Because those charges will also be fixed now. As mode of payments are fixed, the charges applicable
Yes, ma'am.
are also fixed. So what I want you to implement over here, suppose I have purchase cost equal to, say for example, this is the cost that is available. So this particular customer has purchased the items of type of rupees 5690. Mode of payment, you are going to check over here. So now I want you to calculate actual cost to be paid. Are you getting this point? So this is the purchase cost. This is the mode of the payment selected. Yes, I will specify that. String mode of payment
Already, ma'am.
equal to, say for example, credit card. Yes. So now calculate the actual cost to be paid, where you need to get this particular value. Before that, you need to check whether the mode of payment is correct. Complete it. Clear? Will you be able to implement it?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't copy paste. Now you need to do ulta. Here what I have done, I have converted it, and this is converted into toString, and this I have converted into uppercase. Now I want you to do it in another way. First, convert the string in the form of payment and then compare it. This mode of payment, which is a string, that should be converted in the type of enum, and then it should be applied. Done everyone or not yet? Hello, am I
Done,
audible?
ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Doing.
Okay, complete it. Uppercase conversion is missing, no? Now check. हो गया?
Yes, ma'am.
Singleton class is a class which is going to have one and only one object across the JVM. You are not going to have multiple objects to be created for that particular class. So whenever you need to retrieve the object, the same object will be available. Okay, so this is first thing. This is a definition of singleton class. Second point you need to consider over here is what? Whenever you are creating this particular class, designing this particular class, you must restrict the object creation outside that particular class. The object must not be created outside the class. And third thing is this class itself should be able to produce the object. These 3 points you need to remember and create a singleton class.